We're less than 10 hours to our trip for the next 3 months. It's gonna include various destinations. Now, what do I take for, we're going from Florida to Bermuda, Bermuda to San Miguel, then to Madeira, then to Lisbon, Marrakesh. We have a tour there, then to Pisa, and then to Sofia, Bulgaria. What do I take for all those 3 months? Actually, I threw away most of my clothing. There's 6 big bags of clothing. And I threw away most of my shoes. Actually, all shoes I kept was the slides, these shoes, and a couple of others. And I had to throw away all of those shoes because I barely wore any of them to begin with. So for this trip, I got 1 puffy jacket, 6 t-shirts, 7 long sleeve shirts, 1 pair of shoes, 1 slides, 3 pairs of socks, 1 long pants, 3 short pants, 6 underwear, along with all the computer gear to make those videos. And all of that fit into my 55-liter Hyperlight backpack. Here's a view from the landing. It does look magnificent. This particular trip costed me $321 and it was about 5 hours. However, you can find it about half that price online. That's the airport. Looks pretty nice. Weather is a bit overcast, but it's good. It's not too hot. It's not too wet, just like Florida. There's no Ubers in the country, so you have to call a cab. Always research the cost of living before you go and land so you don't get a bad surprise with the prices, guys. The cab from the airport was very cheap because we stayed at Hamilton Parish and it was pretty close. However, make sure you rent a bike or a car when in Bermuda. And here's why. So Bermuda is one of the most expensive countries in the world. It is the price you pay for sunsets like that and also for living in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So saying that get a scooter, they're like 30 bucks a day or whatever. People drive on our left side, which is interesting. We're gonna get a scooter tomorrow. The thing is that we gotta go scuba diving all the way on the other side of the island, and that's gonna run us $75 in each direction. A scooter would have run us $100 for 3 days. All right, so that's the bottom bill for this on the higher end, on the fancy side restaurant. We went to the store. It's expensive. All right, I got water, coffee, and what else?
Milk.
Milk, a small milk, very small milk. One candy bar, and one quart of milk. $23. So you can see the price. Next day we went scuba diving, trying to find out why all those ships sank. The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle has been hypothesized for years. One of the theories is that periodic methane eruptions may produce regions of frothy water that are no longer capable of providing adequate buoyancy for ships. Another one is frequent tropical storms and hurricanes. Another one is the Gulf Stream and the air stream that is blowing from west to east, which makes the airplane spend more fuel than they have to, which makes the airplane not reach their destination. And once you fall off an airplane, you cannot go back and tell the story of why your fuel depleted that fast. Same with sunken ships, you cannot really go and tell the story what happened. Also, when we're scuba diving, they told us that there's a lot of shallow waters that ships didn't know back in the day. So a ship sank and then another ship comes and sinks on top of the previous one. We actually dove, there were like 3 ships sank on top of one another just because of that reason. But once people die, they cannot really go back to England and tell them, hey guys, there are actually shallow places there, don't go there. But there are many, many more interesting theories. The water just awesome. Look at it. So we're going to get some food. So we sat down at the Bone and Fish. We went to Oleander for bikes. For 2 days, it will be $113, and we can actually leave it very close to the airport. It's like 5 minutes walking from the bike shop to the airport. Yes. So this is the official drink of the Bermuda. It's dark and stormy. I don't know what's in it, but let's see. It is dark and stormy, actually. Rum and ginger beer, I think. I'm leaving 100. All right, it's 92 bucks. So we're going to the world's smallest drawbridge. This is it. I don't know if it's in use still. I think it is, or maybe it's not. I don't know. But this is it. They just lift this up the ship can only pass. So this is it. Maybe they used it back in the day. Yeah, it's this small. For the evening, we tried a few local drinks and watched the sunset. On the drone, that is.
Cyclops.
Next day, our itinerary was to go to the caves and then to the unfinished church. This was my first time driving on the left side of the road, and I gotta tell you, it is very confusing, especially when you enter a roundabout. If it's your first time, please be careful. The easiest way to do it is to drive behind somebody and just follow them. The caves are a Crystal Cave and Fantasy Cave tour, and the price was $35 per person for both, and it takes about 30 minutes for each. I personally have been to many caves, and I don't find anything interesting about them anymore.
You know what's interesting about caves, Leonard?
What?
Nothing.
After that, we went to St. George, which is the north side of the island. We went to a restaurant called Wahoo's. We had lunch, and then we headed to St. Peter's Church, which is an interesting monument to see in the old town. There are many weddings and other occasions that are celebrated here. After that, really close by is Fort St. Catherine, which is a coastal fort at the northeast tip of St. George's Island. I enjoyed my time there since the footage of the drone came out amazing, as you can tell. The fort was used in the 1600s and today is used as a museum. Next day we're supposed to depart from Bermuda to the Azores. So our flight to the Azores, come here. I think it got lost into the Bermuda Triangle. It got lost into a mysterious cloud, and they're waiting for it to come out of the cloud. That's why. So the flight is for 8 o'clock p.m. Right now it's 5 o'clock. We're gonna reach the Azores if we get to board the plane at about 4 in the morning, local time. And that's it. We're still going to swim with the dolphins tomorrow. So it's all good. Unfortunately, you know, there's only one place that works here in the Bermuda airport, and it's closed. Otherwise, we want to get some alcohol to drink.
A few moments later.
Are you excited? Are you excited? Because we're boarding. Well, actually, we're not boarding. I think it's time. We're next. So apparently there's some issue. Standing here for like 5 minutes. Let's see, we're gonna board it. The lady actually took our passports and disappeared. She said something about capacity. All right, so I think the flight is at capacity, but
we may be the last 2 people who got tickets because we were the first people who had the issue where it stopped letting people get in, and they managed to unblock some seats and get them for us, but the last like 10 people, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and we finally made it. It is, what is it?
11 hours past what we were supposed to do.
It is 6:20 in the morning, and we have to sleep and get up before 1 o'clock to go swim with the dolphins.
Cyclops.